I am a romantic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think, like many of us, I'm very protective of my heart and matters of the heart. So I'm an enormous romantic, but it just takes me a while to get there. But once I do, I'm at your beck and call, you know what I mean?
It's wild how fast a headline can age in this town. 1 second, it's just another breakup post. The next, Aaron Pierre opens his mouth, and suddenly we're questioning everything we thought we knew about one of Hollywood's most magnetic couples. We're talking about Aaron and Teyana Taylor. Yeah, the duo that had fans writing wedding hashtags before they even hard launched. And now, he's finally told the truth, and it's not the fairy tale gone wrong story everyone was expecting. Forget the cheating rumors, forget the secret fight theories. Aaron just confirmed what insiders have been whispering for months. It wasn't scandal that tore them apart, it was success. The timing was poison. 2 careers hitting warp speed at the exact same moment, colliding instead of sinking. And now everyone's scrambling to rewrite the script.
But here's the part that took me out. Women are already flooding Aaron's comments, trying to get his attention, because he posted a very, very fine as hell picture of himself. All right, that's what he posted.
We didn't even see it coming, which almost feels embarrassing considering how loud they once were without ever saying a word. It's like we all got played by the perfect soft launch. Remember February? The 15% pledge gala in LA? The 2 of them standing shoulder to shoulder, smiling like people who share an inside joke. At first, we thought it was coincidence. 2 gorgeous people in the same orbit. But then came the Vanity Fair Oscars after party. And if you know anything about Hollywood etiquette, that's where couples go when they want to be seen. They didn't walk in together, but they might as well have. The photos inside told the story better than any caption could. That look across the room, that shared smirk. It was the kind of chemistry you don't fake. Within days, everyone was convinced, even without confirmation. By March, the whispers had turned into a full-blown online obsession. The moment Teyana posted that black and white Oscars carousel with the caption, "No gray area," the internet broke in 2. "This is real," one fan wrote under the post, and for once, we believed it. The camera loved them, but it was the off-screen energy that had people hooked. That same week, Aaron popped up in the teaser for her visual album, Escape Room. And that kiss, if you've seen it, you know the one, set the internet ablaze. People weren't just shipping them, they were treating them like destiny. 2 artists with momentum, freshly single, both rising, both magnetic. It was like watching a power couple form in real time. But we should have known better. That kind of heat never lasts in this town without catching something on fire.
See, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Aaron Pierre was too fine. See, ladies, this is what you get. And this is why I say, this is why you got to get an ugly man. Or even not an ugly man, you got to get a medium ugly man. You got to get a man with a great personality. Because, see, when you get a man like Aaron Pierre with that height, those eyes, the cheekbones, the abs, you're going to have to deal with all of this, the women circling around.
The next big flash was June, Aaron's 31st birthday. Teyana threw him a surprise party and made it Instagram official with that tribute. Cheers to 31 and many more wins. Fans screenshotted, reposted, and analyzed every emoji like it was a clue to forever. He replied, "Now and always. Thank you, Tay." It looked pure, effortless, like they were living their best chapter yet. In interviews, she gushed that he was gentle, that he made her feel safe. And for someone who's spent years navigating the fallout of a public divorce, those words hit different. He wasn't just a rebound, he was a reset. People close to them said she called him her apple pie. Cute, sure, but you could tell it was more than a nickname. It was code for peace after chaos. For a minute, it really did seem like she'd found it. Then the silence started. You know that eerie calm before a story breaks? That's exactly what it felt like. The red carpet stopped. The photos dried up. She wasn't tagging him in posts anymore, and his once frequent likes on her feed quietly disappeared. No statements, no unfollows, just digital distance, the kind that feels louder than an argument. By late fall, fans were already suspicious. One TikTok user said, "They went from daily content to ghosting us overnight. Something's off." And that's when the gossip machine kicked in. Page 6 confirmed the split first, then the rest of the outlets followed like dominoes. Sources say they've gone their separate ways. That was it. No drama, no betrayal, just done. But in Hollywood, silence always hides something.
It's like sharks smelling blood in the water. All kind of sharks going after this man. Old sharks, young sharks, cougar sharks, male sharks, menopausal sharks, baby sharks, baby mama sharks. Yo.
When Aaron finally broke it, people were stunned. He didn't sound angry or heartbroken or even defensive. He sounded tired. It was timing, he said quietly, like a man who'd already accepted it long before anyone else did. And honestly, it made sense. Teyana's career was detonating in the best way possible. Golden Globe nomination, Oscar buzz for One Battle After Another, an acclaimed album, new roles lined up back to back. She was on every carpet from New York to London, styled to perfection, glowing like someone who finally got the recognition she deserved. Meanwhile, Aaron's schedule looked like a franchise marathon. DC's Lanterns, the Star Wars, Starfighter project with Ryan Gosling, a film called Goat dropping in February. They weren't just busy, they were orbiting different universes. At that altitude, love becomes logistics. What's crazy is, from the outside, they seemed built for this. Both strong, both independent, both artists who understood the grind. But insiders say that was the problem. They're both alphas, one industry friend told us, and that's romantic until it's not. When you're dating someone who's also chasing global stardom, there's no room for compromise. One has to pause, and neither of them was willing to tap the brakes. There were whispers that their relationship turned into a series of airport reunions. London, Atlanta, LA, repeat. They'd meet for 48 hours, shoot a video, smile for a premiere, then vanish again into separate time zones. That's not a breakup waiting to happen. That's exhaustion disguised as ambition. And yet, even after the split, the respect never faded. Teyana was still liking his posts. Aaron was still quietly promoting her projects. When she showed up to the All's Fair after-party, glowing in red, people half expected him to walk in too. Instead, she was solo, still smiling, still unbothered. A fan tweeted, "She's glowing like she's finally free." But the real story might be the opposite. Freedom can feel lonely when it's earned at that cost. Aaron's last Instagram post didn't help either. A photo in soft light, no caption, just a stare. Fans flooded the comments with wild theories. "Heard you alone now, need some company?" one said. Another wrote, "Contract expired, tragic." It was cruel humor wrapped in curiosity, and he didn't delete a single one. Maybe that was the confirmation.
When I tell y'all, when it comes to available men, sometimes we women are just too thirsty. Okay? Now, I think everybody knows, we were all shocked to read reports that Teyana Taylor and Aaron Pierre split up over the holidays. They did. That is such a hot couple gone to waste. They are so, together. They were so beautiful.
Video, https://www.youtube.com/watch ? V = MIB PXZYJ C5Q 00:00 to 00:23. We can't ignore the irony either. The same timing that brought them together is what ripped them apart. Escape Room wasn't just the name of her album. It became their reality. Two people trapped in the spotlight, trying to love each other in a maze made of flashing cameras and timelines. The music video that once symbolized unity now plays like a time capsule of a romance already slipping away. Every scene hits different now. The look in his eyes, the way she touches his face, all of it feels like they both knew the countdown had already started. Maybe they were saying goodbye before we even realized it. Still, some fans refuse to buy the no drama angle. They point out that Teyana's last interviews sounded guarded, like she was editing herself mid-sentence. "I walk a straight line unarmored," she said once. "Ready to receive whatever is mine to hold." Poetic, yes, but if you listen closely, that sounds like someone preparing to let go. And Aaron's recent comments about creative independence didn't help calm the speculation either. People close to him insist that while he adored her, he also felt overshadowed by her rising spotlight. It's that classic Hollywood tension, the quiet star versus the headline queen. They start in sync, but fame tilts the scales. The internet, of course, turned it into sport. Threads users started calling it the timing curse, lumping them in with every other Hollywood couple that burned fast and bright. Some even joked that their relationship had a studio expiration date. "It's giving limited series, not franchise," one comment read. But that's what makes this story sting. It was too real to be fake and too brief to feel finished. We all love a scandal, but there's something haunting about watching two people who genuinely liked each other get steamrolled by momentum. It's the side of fame no one Instagrams, when the dream comes true and you lose your anchor in the process.
It's honestly, I'm an introvert. Like despite my career choice as an actor, an artist, I'm actually an introvert and somewhat of a recluse. So a lot of this year, the reception, I've been enjoying it and receiving it in the comfort of.
Now the question everyone's asking is whether this is truly the end or just an intermission. Hollywood loves a reunion story, and these two have chemistry that doesn't evaporate. With award season in full swing, insiders are already placing bets on them crossing paths again. After parties, premieres, maybe even presenting at the same show. You can almost picture it. Teyana in gold, Aaron in black, a polite hug for the cameras that says everything and nothing at once. Because in this town, closure doesn't exist, it just rebrands itself. What's even more intriguing is how quiet both of them have stayed since Aaron's revelation. Teyana's been channeling her energy into work, posting behind-the-scenes shots from set, smiling like someone who's figured out how to turn heartbreak into marketing. Aaron's been doing the same, spotted at boss events in Europe, giving interviews that sound more spiritual than personal. "I'm learning to let things evolve as they should," he said at one red carpet. Translation? No bad blood, just bruises. And maybe that's the most mature breakup we've seen in years, if we believe it. Because honestly, this is Hollywood. There's always more under the surface than anyone's willing to admit. But here's the thing that's been eating at us since Aaron's calm little revelation. What if that bad timing story was just the polite version? Because behind the velvet soft statements and the mutual respect posts, insiders have been whispering something that sounds a whole lot more strategic. A studio handshake, some might say. From the start, this romance moved with the precision of a marketing rollout. First, the red carpet tease, then the album trailer kiss, then the matching looks on press runs. Every sighting hit right before one of their major career moments. It almost felt too synchronized to be coincidence. And in Hollywood, coincidence is just another word for choreography. People close to both of them hint that the chemistry might have started in front of the camera, not behind closed doors. Escape Room wasn't just a visual album, it was a masterclass in controlled intimacy. The music video felt real because, maybe for a moment, it was. The lines blurred between performance and connection until nobody, maybe not even them, could tell where one ended and the other began. Some crew members even joked that they were method acting their way into a real relationship. But others weren't laughing. One source from the set claimed that by the time the cameras stopped rolling, the production team was already betting on how long the romance would last after the credits. It's brutal, but also very Hollywood, where love and publicity share the same calendar. And yet, even if it began as perfectly packaged PR, we can't pretend the emotions weren't there. You could see it in the quiet way they looked at each other during interviews, or how Aaron's hand always hovered protectively near her back. Those gestures don't come from a publicist, but as the months rolled on, both of them leaned into the glow. Every photo, every quote, every carpet. They became a two-person brand, and the public bought in. When Teyana's name landed on early Oscar prediction lists for one battle after another, and Aaron's landed in the same headlines as Ryan Gosling for the Star Wars project, the pairing suddenly looked like destiny by design. The fans believed it. The industry believed it. Maybe they even started believing it themselves.
Yeah, I had a hard time listening to him. She heard blah, 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 blah. I am just like, I heard it, I received it, I respect it. But your eyes are unfair. Like, they're unfair. Like, I can be your mom, but I'm just, wow, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. It's hot in here. I'm kidding.
That's why the ending hit harder. It wasn't just two people falling apart. It was the collapse of an image everyone helped build. Around November, when Teyana did that now famous interview saying, "If I call him my boyfriend, it's because we said it together." We should have seen it. That was her way of pulling back, of reclaiming her narrative. She'd already been through one public breakup that dragged her name through headlines for months. She wasn't about to repeat that performance. Meanwhile, Aaron's reps were doing quiet damage control, making sure his next franchise commitments weren't overshadowed by personal chatter. The timing of their silence wasn't random. It was protection. Still, the speculation never stopped. Comment threads turned into theories, theories into conspiracies. "They looked too polished," one fan wrote. "It gave movie trailer romance, not real-life love." Others thought the opposite, that their subtlety was what made it real. "They didn't need to perform for us," someone tweeted. "They already had each other." The irony is, both readings might be true, because in Hollywood, real emotion can exist inside the performance. The machine feeds on authenticity just as much as it creates illusion. The heartbreak sells, the mystery sustains it, and the audience becomes complicit. And then came the lie detector interview with Kim Kardashian. Remember that? Teyana laughing about never calling him Mufasa in the bedroom. It was playful, harmless, but the internet read it as a red flag. "Notice how she talks about him in past tense?" one user posted. "Notice how she dodged the intimacy question?" That one clip, 15 seconds of nervous laughter, spun the rumor cycle back to life. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't just about timing anymore. It was about detachment. The story went from, "they're too busy," to, "they were never really in sync." The same fans who had once written love sonnets under their photos were now analyzing eye contact and sentence length. It's cruel, but that's how fascination works.
I need to know from you, what was it like when you saw his viral spirit tunnel?
You want to know how it was for me?
What was it like, Regina? What you got, girl?
No, it was impressive.
It was impressive?
It was
Elaborate.
impressive.
Elaborate. Somebody said yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you. You know, well, he's very handsome.
Yes, ma'am.
Meanwhile, Teyana was quietly dominating every room she walked into. Paul Thomas Anderson was calling her one of one. Taraji P. Henson was saying, "She's just that girl." The kind of praise that cements you as the next big thing. Aaron, on the other hand, was navigating blockbuster pressure, the kind that turns every interview into a minefield. When you're cast alongside Ryan Gosling, the world expects perfection. Suddenly, both were trapped by success again. Different sets, different continents, the same quiet distance. People close to them said that even when they tried to reconnect, it felt like they were living parallel lives that never crossed at the right moment. But here's where it turns almost poetic. After the breakup, Teyana didn't go bitter. She went gracious. She kept liking his posts, even dropped a few subtle nods during live events. "He handled me like a cup of tea," she'd said once. That line resurfaced everywhere. People replayed it like a lyric. And Aaron? He posted that moody shot, all light and shadow, no caption. Fans flooded the comments again. "She's your tea, don't let her cool." It's strange how audiences romanticize endings, but maybe that's why this one stings. It felt incomplete. There was no villain, no betrayal, no public screaming match. Just two people who couldn't meet in the same time zone long enough to sustain the fairy tale they'd accidentally built. Now, some insiders claim there's a reason the breakup narrative is so clean. They say both teams signed an unspoken agreement to keep it that way. No leaks, no blame, no messy quotes. Because when two brands are as valuable as these, a dignified silence is better than a headline war. It's the new Hollywood strategy. Let mystery sell the story, not conflict. And it's working. Every time either of them posts something even remotely nostalgic, engagement spikes. It's almost like they're still benefiting from the ghost of their relationship. That's the kind of subtle fame management only pros pull off. But if we zoom out, this isn't just about Aaron and Teyana anymore. This is the recurring heartbreak of modern fame. Every rising couple eventually collides with the same wall, the point where careers accelerate faster than connection can catch up. We've seen it before, the quiet breakup announced by sources, the mutual respect post, the subtle unfollow, then the comeback months later when both have new projects to promote. It's not cynicism, it's pattern. Hollywood teaches you how to brand your emotions, then punishes you for doing it too well. And these two, they mastered the art form.
Oh my God, those close-up we should get a close-up. Those are like mesmerizing, beautiful.
Thank you.
What color are they?
I don't know.
I'll find out. I'll tell you what. So wait, you knew each other?
Still, something about this story refuses to settle. Maybe it's the way Aaron's still careful never to mention her name in interviews, like saying it might reopen a wound. Maybe it's the way Teyana lights up when someone asks about love, but immediately shifts the topic back to work. It's that quiet, unfinished energy that makes us think we haven't heard the final act. Because if their connection really was born from timing, what happens when the timing shifts again? Award season is here. Red carpets are coming. Shared circles mean shared spaces. Hollywood is too small for two stars like this to stay orbiting forever without colliding again. And if they do cross paths, who's to say what happens? Maybe they smile politely for the cameras and move on. Or maybe, under the flashbulbs and the makeup and the rehearsed laughter, something flickers again. Because no matter how many times the tabloids call it over, we all know Hollywood's favorite genre isn't drama, it's the comeback. And there's a strange, almost cinematic symmetry in two people who couldn't align during their ascent finding each other again when the dust settles. It's the story everyone secretly wants, even the ones pretending not to care. So maybe Aaron and Teyana aren't finished. Maybe they're just paused. Or maybe this was never about forever, but about the lesson that even the brightest connections can burn out when they're too close to the spotlight. Whatever the truth is, one thing's clear. This wasn't just a breakup. It was a mirror held up to the whole industry. Timing, power, and ambition are the real love triangle here, and both of them got caught in it. And maybe, just maybe, they'll both look back one day and realize that what they lost wasn't each other. It was the version of themselves they played for the world. So, what do you think? Was their story real love crushed by ambition, or was it all an elaborate act that fooled even them? Drop your take in the comments, because this one's not over yet. Something tells us the next time their names share a headline, it won't be about a breakup. It'll be about a reunion nobody saw coming. Until then, keep your eyes open and your tea hot. Hollywood's not done spilling.